I think being called an influencer is something you should be proud of.
What are you really influencing people for?
I had never seen anyone in my family, like the woman, handle money.
I come from a place where all of this, like, women have not had careers.
Mental
Gifted
health is
with that.
definitely something that a lot of creators, just in general with loneliness, do deal with.
I look at other creators, I'm like, I should be more like them, I should speak like them, I should dress like them.
I still feel the imposter syndrome every now and then. I'm
Yeah.
constantly second guessing myself.
I paid for the blue tick.
I literally delete the whole footage.
I think Indian brands really need to learn how to let a creator be a creator.
There's also this huge competition between agencies.
And I got thrown out of the PR lists.
On Reddit, people have gone and complained about how I complain too much.
Do you look up gossip about yourself?
You don't want to change your way for some random person you've never met.
I want to shut out, but I can't.
Define money a little bit more for us.
I would say around 10 to 15 lakhs.
Hi, and welcome to The Real Deal with me, Anam C. I'm so excited for you to watch this episode because it really is a very insightful one. I chat with Alfia and Shalini on the true real deal on the creator life. We talk about money, we talk about controversies, and we talk about loneliness that we feel as creators. There are so many perks that the world gets to see, but not as many of the pits. And we really dive deep into the insider feeling of living the life of a full-time content creator. So come, let's get started. Hi Alfia, hi Shalini, welcome to The Real Deal with me.
Hi.
So both of you have individually asked me what today's conversation is about. And I just want to say it's a chill conversation about our lives as creators. I feel like a lot of people feel like they know what the creator world is about, but so much of it is either incomplete or not factually correct. They don't fully get the picture of the positives, like let's say the peaks and the pits. And with, talking to my creator friends, I just want to try and give them as much of a real peek into what our lives are like. Because even though we're all in the same field, we still have different experiences. Sometimes our genres overlap. Sometimes we have different choices. And I want to try and give as many POVs as possible to anybody who's watching and listening. Do you prefer the term creator or influencer? Let's start with that because there are so many perceptions to this.
Creator any day, please.
How do you, what is the definition of creator versus influencer in your mind?
I feel like when I started, tab to ye term tha nahi influencer wala, because I was really like a blogger. I used to write blogs, and then came the whole Instagram thing, and I feel the whole vibe of creating content and delivering is what fits best. Influencing is something that is a little burden for me, because what are you really influencing people for? That question puts me in a position where I'm like, oh yeah, true, but anyway, so I don't want that burden. I just want to be doing what I love doing. I want to share what I like and my experiences. So for that, I think creator.
How long have you been a creator for? You said blogging. So
Yes.
how long are we talking?
So this July 30th, I'll be completing 10 years.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
A
A decade in. I love
Mad.
that. Where are you at with these? What phrase, what term do you like?
Honestly, I think I'm sort of neutral now. Initially, I think I preferred the term content creator, but I think being called an influencer is something you should be proud of. I don't know, coming from the south of India where people don't know what the internet is or what influencing is, to them using the term influencer or influencing, to them in their mind, they're like, wow, she's an influencer. Which, if I think about me playing that part in a small girl's mind, makes me feel like, wow, I'm like someone she looks up to. So I think I'm now neutral about it, but I think I would say I'm more of a creative in my personality. But because I've put myself in a certain bucket with my content, I think content creator is what
Proactively,
yeah.
that's what you... Can you give us a little context about, just if anybody doesn't know, where you're from and how you landed to where you are today? And of course, we'll come to you next with this
Yeah,
also.
sure. So I'm originally from Chennai. I was born and raised there, went to school there, went to college there. And then I went away to the UK to do my postgrad. And that was when I properly started content. So that was back in 2018. But that time there was no reel. There was no reels, there was no videos. It was just me doing my makeup, having a full face of makeup done, and then posting a picture of myself on Instagram with like the products mentioned. So that was like the kind of content I did.
Microblogging.
Yeah, whatever the term is, I don't know. I just did it as like a creative outlet, because it was after being a tomboy for many many years of my life. It was my like first foray into the world of beauty. I was now thrown into the world of like all these brands, all these like drugstore brands even, and seeing like all the girls that use all these products, and I was like, I should maybe try that. So that was like when I started Instagram per se. But it was only during COVID when and then post my postgrad, I moved to Bombay as part of working with this brand called Faye Beauty. I was heading the design, social media, branding. That's why I call myself a creative, because those are actually my strong suits. I feel like because I was creating content whilst working there, I put myself in like a sort of bucket of doing get ready with me's before work or get ready with me's after work. So it kind of just progressed from there. So I'm still trying to, like venture out of that little bucket I created for myself. But yeah, so I came back to Bombay. I joined Faye. I was there for like 3.5 years. But during COVID, um, we as a team decided to take a little bit of a break from content. It wasn't right to like push sales of products in the middle of a pandemic. So it gave me a lot of free time. I was also back home and we couldn't, obviously, the whole world couldn't do anything other than like scroll the internet. So, and simultaneously, I think TikTok got banned. Yeah, TikTok got banned and Reels were introduced. And that's really when I started videos per se. And that was when I hit my first 10K. That was when, like, yeah, I feel like that was when things started for me.
But do you think you didn't do IGTVs? Because why do I feel like
I did.
kind of like
I did.
come across your page via IGTV videos only?
Yeah, so pre-reels, I feel like the trend was to do these like very heavy tutorials on stories. Like the one where you're
Yeah.
talking and you're like doing your makeup while talking, and people could tap through and watch the
linking,
whole
swipe up and
tutorial.
check
We
the
Yeah.
didn't have click on link at that time. We had swipe up,
was just so
but I
good.
miss swipe up.
Yeah. So that was the kind of like videos that I did. Like that was the most like video content
Oh.
I did. And then I went to Get Ready With Me lives.
Oh
And
wow.
that I think was the one that like people really related to, because it was really unfiltered. And as I said, it was like me still figuring out my makeup style, me still learning things about makeup. Like I did a lot of creative makeup looks on there, and it was really funny because I would mess up all the time. Like it would not be like the most perfect makeup tutorial or anything. It would just be me. I got this new product, let's try it together. And it would just be like a funny, like very live thing. So yeah, I did do Get Ready With Me
IGTVs, yeah.
lives and then post those as IGTVs. That was also something I did. Yeah.
But that seems very on brand for you, because I feel like you're someone that talks very organically about trying things for the first time, liking them,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
liking them.
Yeah.
And I feel like that seems very like fitting to your journey in that sense.
Yeah, it
right?
really does. I think it really like helped also to establish that like connection with my community, because as you said, it is exactly my vibe. Like just me sitting down and trying stuff. That's it. It brings up this thing that I struggle with a lot, which is the sense of identity. I feel like as a creator, I put myself in like a certain box, which was that I only shoot in this background. I only shoot with these like things behind me, whatever it is, right? I think all of us have that. Like we
Hmm.
have a certain way of shooting, a certain way of speaking. And constantly I look at other creators. I'm like, I should be more like them. I should speak like them. I should dress like them. And it brings up such, I wouldn't say insecurity, but it's a constant state of wondering, is this the person I am?
Hmm.
Because with every top I wear, with every makeup look I do, with every hairstyle I do, I constantly keep wondering, like, is this me? Is this me? And I feel like that's a bit of a, like, it's not good, like, to
No,
constantly.
but please know you're not alone. I've been doing this for, it'll be 14 years this December for me. And I promise you, I still feel the imposter syndrome every now and then, where I'm like, wait, is this something I came up with? Or is this something that has inspired me from seeing it on somebody else's
Yeah,
page?
exactly.
And that
Yeah.
it's almost like, you know how sometimes scarcity mindset never fully leaves you if you've ever been in that position. It's that idea and that doubt that unfortunately doesn't leave you forever. It kind of, at least in my case, leaves and then comes back and then leaves and then comes back, where I'm
Yeah.
constantly second guessing myself. And I'm like, is that really me? Is that most me? Because like I also went through a phase, especially like pandemic and post-pandemic onwards, where I gained a lot of weight. And I was like, wait, now I need to completely change the way I dress. Plus, as a married person, people are constantly assuming
Yeah.
weight equals pregnancy.
Mhm.
So it messes with your mind so much because you're
Yeah.
like, wait, what am I? Where am I? I can't do
Yeah.
what I used to do anymore. I
Yeah.
haven't figured out where I want to go. So that in between journey can be so chaotic.
Yeah.
And because it's under a microscope of social media,
Mhm.
you're kind of like it, but it never, you just have to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah,
It's true.
I don't know if there's any way to.
Therapy.
But then sometimes
Helps.
I feel like, but sometimes for me, it's like a conscious effort where if I want to like film a video, but then I might have like just seen somebody already post about it, I literally like delete the whole footage because I'm like,
What?
I don't want to be called like, oh, you copied her, oh, this is exactly like this. So I like that pressure that, oh, is it because somebody did it? You're
You would
doing it?
delete like full footage because
Yeah,
somebody.
like I would not post it also.
Okay, I don't do that. I feel like
That's
if I've
tough.
happened to shot something similar, or if I already, kind of have, I think it's okay. But then
Yeah.
wait, how does that leave you on trends? Because trends, everyone is pretty much doing
No,
the
not
same
for
thing.
trends. Like obviously you can use the same audio and stuff like that. So for example, someone's posted a video, West Side versus Crawford, and I see that okay, by the time my video is in edit, someone's already posted it. So I'm gonna be in like double minds ki main kya karu? And especially when it's like a friend circle or somebody, especially people know that they associate you as their friend. They'll be like, oh, copy. So there are times where I kind of am struggling if I really want to post it, or maybe I'll just time it out and post it later on so that there's no like direct comparison. YouTube pe toh obviously like people are very they really, what do you call it, Hmm.
They understand the nuances, no?
No, I mean they really register a lot of things, and they will kind of bring it up. So
Fair enough.
I really think the YouTube audience is like a whole different ball
Yeah.
game. Like as a mainly Instagram creator, I feel like YouTube is I just don't get it. Like
You prefer
Yeah.
Instagram to YouTube, you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. But that's also because I think I've been on it for longer, and I think maybe like I've grown up with some of the I mean not grown up, but like I've been through some of the new releases of the features and
Yeah.
stuff. So I feel like more in tune with Instagram as a platform. But YouTube, I feel like the way you title your videos, the thumbnails, all that is like so complicated.
It
I
is.
just don't
Mm.
get it. And like literally just on Sunday, when it's usually the day where I upload a long form video, I went into like a full existential crisis mode because I was like, what? Why should people watch my video? Like, what is in it? Because I felt like, in a way, I felt like, what am I sharing on there that's of value to a viewer? Which is how I view my Instagram. Like on Instagram, I feel like a lot of my posts are very either informative or there's some sort of
Mm.
takeaway for the person who's watching. But on YouTube, I feel there are some videos that are like, spilling the deets on like laser hair reduction or whatever. That's like quite informative. But then my vlogs are just vlogs. And I feel like my life is so monotonous. Like I'm just doing the same thing.
No, but it's so fascinating that you feel that way because I went through a phase like that in the pandemic when I actually properly started doing vlogs like regularly. Like
Mhm.
when I say like with a goal. And my team assistant at the time, shout out Dhwani, honestly, she was like, do more vlogs, do more vlogs. And I was like, but I can't help but think of vlogs as filler uploads and not like content,
Mm.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And little did I realize that apart from it being like, I just enjoyed documenting things for me. So for the longest time, I was just doing it for me. But if I need to put it as content, I need to try and make it interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
And that's
feel
a challenge.
constantly like this pressure that I should shoot my vlog when I have a lot going on that week
Yeah.
so that there's enough content.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm just sitting at home going for my workout, having a
Exactly.
shower,
But-
working at the
But you'll be
laptop.
surprised. People like watching
know,
the mundane
yeah.
stuff too because they realize that everyone's life is similar in that sense. We all have a common baseline.
That's true.
Yeah.
And everything else is just the confetti that goes on top of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree with like YouTube's titling and thumbnails. It's a major learning curve. I feel like I haven't cracked that even. And I feel like I don't know how many years I've spent on it, but like I'm constantly trying, constantly feeling like a beginner in all honesty. But there's something so much more gratifying about being on YouTube
Yes.
for me
I
than
know.
Instagram.
I mean, it does feel like you've kind of done something big, because for me, I've always struggled with YouTube even till date. Like the other day, I put up a video and I didn't even realize that for a brief second my phone number was visible in one of the bills.
Same.
And I'm like, bro, कौन देखे? नहीं, कोई नहीं देख पाएगा, because मैं नहीं देखती हूँ. मैं तो text देखूंगी ना कि यार क्या
Oh
text
my
है.
god.
And I started getting calls and messages, and I'm like, bro, like, why is it every time I upload a video something has to go wrong?
No, but how long was the video up for?
It was up for about 4 to 6 hours, but then yeah.
Did you delete it?
sheesh.
I had-
You know, YouTube has a
No, you
blurring
can-
feature
yeah.
within
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
I
I've
got to
made
know
this
about it.
mistake twice. Once I left my husband's number in the video by mistake, and at 10:30 in the night, he gets a call, and this polite girl, for lack of
Yeah,
any other
true.
way of describing her, goes, "I'm just calling to let you know your
That
number
your
is
number's-
visible in the video." And I'm like, shit. And then the second time when I was filming house, moving content
Yeah.
in 2024,
Your address.
I left my old address and my new address both in like some
Oh.
scrolling thing. And that, thankfully, the first couple of comments came in like a few minutes, and I went and I used that YouTube blurring feature.
tool. Yeah, the same thing happened to me. I left my number, like literally, I was at Florian Hurel. I have inputted like my details. You know what I'm saying? Like details on
Yeah.
the sheet that they give you. And I'm like shooting myself, I'm gonna get a massage. And my number's on there. And I post the vlog, and someone's like very sweetly, honestly, she WhatsApp me being like, I just want to tell you, Shay, that your number's there. I'm like, oh my God, like this cannot be happening. And I had to go and use that blurring tool.
Yeah.
So in that way, I feel like YouTube is a great platform.
Yeah. But I genuinely
They
think
do give
the
you a
community
lot
over
to-
there is a
Hmm.
lot
Yeah.
more pointed. It's a lot undiluted. On Instagram, I feel like as much as I love the platform, I just feel like it's very diluted. Not
That's
everyone that
really-
watches your content
Yeah.
remembers everything.
That's
the thing
true.
is, I feel that on YouTube, the people who watch, I feel remember the
Yeah.
details about your
Yes.
life. But on Instagram, you're like just content sometimes.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to actually say was that YouTube as a platform, I feel, is more fun to be on, because I feel like there are so many tools for you to use as a creator. And I honestly feel that the team at YouTube also really does
That's
a good
true.
job.
That's
of,
the best part about YouTube. They
I
have
agree.
your back.
They really have your back. I went through a health crisis 2 years ago, and I actually had my partner manager at YouTube be like, take the time off.
yeah.
And they were like, go off the grid,
Wow.
go take a few weeks off. And I was like, this is the first time somebody
Someone's
from a
told me that.
platform is telling me to take time off.
Yeah.
They were like, no pressure. And mind you, I was in the middle of like contractual work with them at that point.
Okay.
So I had like things happening with the brand, and like stuff was going on. And they were like, nope, it can wait. Your health comes first. And I was like, I love you.
Yeah.
Like this is so human. And
Yeah,
it is
I
so
really think
rare.
across countries also, like I think they're really good at helping creators and learn their tools and educating them
Oh
on how
yeah,
things work.
I've been to their San Francisco headquarters 2 or 3 times, and they are always so knowledgeable and informational, and will
Yeah.
just give you the nicest guidance,
Yeah.
insights into new stuff that's coming. And I feel like they just genuinely have
really
your
think
back.
They
it's-
really like take care of you. Like every YouTube event that I've been to, they make you feel like you're really someone to them, and not like, oh, she's just any other creator. Because millions of people are posting on YouTube like, what's the big deal? मुझे तो ऐसे ही लगता है कि भाई, I'm just like a pea in a pod. Like it's just
Yeah.
such a big world. But still, the way they treat you, and there'll be times where they're sending you emails that, oh, this is a video that you need to probably look at. This is something new that we've launched. And every time they're kind of making sure that we are, watching certain courses, attending certain events. This is a new feature,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It's so nice. Like it just feels at home when I'm at YouTube. To be
Yeah.
And they don't look at subscriber count just as a platform. It's not the be all end all. I've been on so many panels for them,
Mhm.
and I've been on panels where there are people upwards of 4 million subscribers, and at times the whole imposter syndrome kicks in. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
With like people who are all sitting upwards of 4 million subscribers. And I remember I asked one of them, and they were like, no, that's not the only filter we have, quality content.
Wow.
And with, unfortunately, other platforms, you can't say that, because the people that when you're even reaching out, I have so many people whose accounts have gotten hacked and haven't been able to
Yeah.
get in, and there's no help.
Yeah,
You
honestly, that's why I got the subscription on Instagram. Full disclosure,
Oh.
like I paid for the blue tick, whatever. Honestly, because I wanted support, and I don't feel like it helped.
That's true.
I don't think like as a platform. I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but it's just facts. Like I feel YouTube really does a lot more to support you as a creator. It's been so tricky to get on Meta's like circle. I don't know. I still haven't
Yeah.
because I feel like I've come to know now that the people that they invite for these events are also usually through agencies,
Agencies.
Yes.
which is so like
So,
that.
what
I
benefits
know.
did you get from subscribing to the Meta Blue Tick?
So nothing, honestly. Like it's just a way of protecting myself. I felt like if my account gets hacked or something like that, I would at least be able to send someone an email at Meta and be like, I
Mm.
had the subscription, at least help me, you know. But I don't think there's been that case. Thank God, like touch wood.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, please.
There hasn't been a case where I've had to like pull out that thing, but I think I got it specifically for that purpose.
Mm.
Whereas on YouTube, I don't feel that like need. Like I
Yeah.
feel that I'm being supported as a
They
creator
have
just
a
just
chat
by
feature
porting.
also, I think, right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is really good. Which is really, really
Amazing,
good.
like
Yeah.
crazy.
Wait, so I didn't get around to asking you because we've been in a flow of
Yeah.
conversation. You landed from college straight as a creator. Give us backstory for you as well.
Okay, so for me, it all started out of frustration and not inspiration, honestly, because when I was in my college, I was kind of trying to get into a medical school because my parents really saw me as a doctor. They're like, कि हमारे खानदान में अगर पहली doctor बनेगी तो वो तू है. That's just because I did do well in my academics, but genuinely like मेरा interest था ही नहीं उसमें. But just for the sake of it, I was like, sure, like let me just take the degree because my parents are really at this point kind of emotionally blackmailing me that you have to do it for us. And I'm that kid that, okay, I'll do it for you, mama, I'll do it. So I did get into that zone, but I wasn't enjoying my subjects, my studies, kind of really failing in some exam, which was a first. And I'm like, bro, where am I going in life? Like, what is happening? This is something that I've never experienced, being like the front bencher, teacher's favorite, and getting good marks. This phase was very like different for me. And that's when I feel blogging was very new. I still remember you being one of the first creators that I used to see. And Santoshi, Ashna, I genuinely was very like, happy that somebody with like brown skin, especially Santoshi, was doing so well in the industry. And for me, that was one of my biggest insecurities growing up. So just looking at her flaunting her brown skin and just owning it, I kind of started taking my pictures. And for me, it was modest fashion. So from where I come from, self expression was not like appreciated and modesty was expected. So I kind of just blended both and I paved my own path. I thought that let's do it. But I kind of was doing it secretly because मेरे parents तो चाहते हैं कि मैं डॉक्टर बनूं, तो मैं ये साइड बाय साइड क्या कर रही हूँ, like I can't probably tell them that I am doing something else that could distract me. Or like I come from a place where all of this, like women have not had careers, like you can't probably decide what you want to do with your life. It's your parents who will probably just tell you कि भाई तू इसमें अच्छी है तो तू ये कर, तू इसमें अच्छी है तो तू वो कर. For me, it was pre-decided कि medical ही करना है. And चुपके चुपके I started posting blogs and then I started posting pictures on Instagram. And because then creators were very new, your page really gets picked up easily. Like, you're in one of the few circles that, oh, she's like an influencer, she's like an Instagram creator, blogger now. So I started kind of posting and my page was doing well. I think it was in 2015 where I had about like 10K followers, which was a lot then for me. And eventually, like, my parents got to know that this is what's happening. And obviously, like, they didn't approve of it. There were so many arguments. And
Wait, sorry, I have to cut you. You said they came to know. Did you not tell them?
I did
How did they
not
find
tell
out?
them. Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah, so basically, I used to like carry my outfits to college, and then I used to have a friend who had a camera. तभी DSLR से ही photos लेने होते थे. So I would ask them to click my pictures. तो मैं after lectures ये कर रही होती थी मेरे college
उन्हें पता
campus में.
नहीं
उन्हें
था.
बिल्कुल नहीं पता है. And I knew that they wouldn't allow because उनको ऐसे लगता था कि यार शूट करना मतलब बिकनी शूट करना, मतलब तुम चाहे तुम कितना भी उनको समझा दो, पेरेंट्स का दिमाग ऐसे ही जाता है कि ये कपड़े पहन के जाती है, मे बी वो बैग में कुछ और कैरी करी एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. सो इट वाज एक्चुअली वाया relatives and my parents got to know.
Oops.
And that was a complete disaster. I remember there was so many like awkward moments where I'm at a wedding and someone's like got hold of me that I saw that you're posting pictures on blog, modeling, ye, wo. How are your parents allowing it? And my mom is like, she's an alima. So basically she's like, she's one of those people ki, women have gone to take tips about modesty and Islam and this and that. So coming from that background, they're like, how are they allowing her daughter to, their daughter to post online? So I had to kind of shut my page. I deactivated it. I was at my kind of like, I think 19,000 पे थी मैं. मैंने मेरा page बंद कर दिया because it was getting too much for me. Like my parents are not talking to me. My career is not going anywhere. Even though मेरे को blogging से सिर्फ मजा आता था, it was just like I'm kind of expressing myself. And I was one of the kids जो बिल्कुल भी जिसको मतलब पिक्चर खींचने से भी वो शर्माती थी. बट ये मेरे लिए चैलेंज था. एंड जब लोग ना तारीफ कर रहे थे तो मुझे वो बहुत पसंद आ रहा था, बिकॉज मुझे लगता था यार आई एम ब्राउन स्किन, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट आई वाज टोल्ड कि यार तू ब्राउन स्किन है, लोगों को एक गोरी बहू अच्छी लगेगी. एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव हर्ड व्हेन आई वाज ग्रोइंग अप. सो फॉर मी इट वाज लाइक I'm not good enough. Like, what do? I listen to my parents that way. I respect elders, but there's something that's still, there's a void, and I feel I will never be good enough, basically because of my skin tone. And when people started appreciating my skin tone, my looks, I'm like, this is another world. Like, am I beautiful? Wow, I'm beautiful. This is amazing. So मुझे वो validation इतना अच्छा लग रहा था, because कहीं और से कभी मिला ही नहीं. मुझे वो अटेंशन इतनी अच्छी लग रही थी यार कि ये सब कुछ है. एंड व्हेन आई काइंड ऑफ डीएक्टिवेटेड, I started getting messages, why did you shut your page, you were so nice, this that. So उसके बाद मैंने फिर से छुपके से पेज चालू कर दिया. My parents still didn't know कि मैंने फिर से शुरू कर दिया है. एंड धीरे धीरे I was kind of like, ठीक है, I mean, I'll do what you guys want, but I'll also do this. Then I kind of changed my stream. Even that was another journey where I had to convince them that, I can't read, I'm not doing well. Like, what और क्या चाहिए आपको? Why do you want to like sell your gold, give donation to a college just to get me admitted? And I might not even become a good doctor. Like, what is wrong with you guys? So they did allow me to change my stream, but they're like, okay, you can do it, but अब हमको चाहिए that you go out and become, get your master's degree abroad say. And I'm like, sure, like if the subjects are something that interests me and it's a field of like my passion, which is fashion and communication, sure, I'll do it. So I finished my college, and then side by side I also gave my exam IELTS diya maine, and I was kind of trying to get into fashion business management in UK. So uske साथ साथ I was still side by side doing like, pictures. तभी तक pictures ही थे, video content नहीं आया था. So I got my admission, everything set. I just need to like give them the money, and I'm gonna start my college in September. And then COVID हो जाता है. So when COVID hit, I am having this conversation with my dad कि अब करना क्या है, because like अभी आप लोग के पास क्या ऑप्शन है कि मैं क्या करूँ लाइफ में. My dad is like, काम कर, तो अभी शांत ही रहे, जब जैसे ही चीजें ठीक होगी मैं तुझे बोलूंगा कि एडमिशन का क्या करना है. मैंने बोला ठीक है. अब शांत मतलब क्या, कोविड में करने के लिए कुछ नहीं है. आई हैव अ पेज that where I have people, active people, like 20,000 people who follow me, follow my content, this and that. I'm like, sure. तो उसके पहले, just COVID के पहले, I was also doing a job, exactly what you were doing actually at Faye. I was for like a body care brand. I was their content strategist, where I basically did what a content creator does. I used to click their flat lays. I used to do influencer marketing for them. I used to make the content calendars, what would go when, blah blah blah. I used to do that. उसके बाद मैं अपनी पढ़ाई भी कर रही थी और उसके साथ मैं content creation भी कर रही थी. तो 3 चीजें मैं एक साथ कर रही थी. And then जब पेंडेमिक हो गया, आई एम लाइक, अब जॉब तो नहीं कर सकते, अब कॉलेज तो जाना नहीं है, सो लेट मी जस्ट फोकस ऑन दिस. एंड आई वाज एट 30,000 फॉलोअर्स. एंड तब पेरेंट्स के पास कुछ था ही नहीं मुझे मना करने के लिए, बिकॉज लाइक हम क्या ही रीजन से इसको बोले, बिकॉज उनके दिमाग में कहीं ना कहीं ये था कि जैसे ही ये जाएगी अब्रॉड, ये बिजी हो जाएगी और ये छोड़ देगी. उनको ये था कि बस ये छूटे इससे, बिकॉज दे डोंट वांट टू सी मी इन पब्लिक आई एंड ऑन कैमरा इन दिस एंड दैट. तो उनको ये था कि यार देखना, ऐसा पॉइंट आएगा कि वो इतनी बिजी हो जाएगी कि छूट ही जाएगा उससे. सो लेट्स नॉट फाइट विथ हर अबाउट इट, लीव इट टू लाइफ. तो कोविड हो गया. कोविड में आई वाज एट 30,000 फॉलोअर्स. 1 साल हो गया. एंड आई रिमेम्बर दैट I have worked every single day of lockdown. My sisters in the studio right now, हम दोनों ने इतनी स्ट्रगल की है. मतलब हमने पीछे पर्दे लगाए हैं, ऑन लाइक रैंडम बैकड्रॉप्स शूट किया है, सब कुछ. लाइक आई हैव गिवन इट ऑल. एंड आई रिमेम्बर जस्ट तभी IGTV तो था ही, and I used to kind of post skincare and stuff like that. So it was blowing up. I got like 1 million views on IGTV then, and I'm like, this is crazy. Is it even possible? एक साल में 30,000 से मेरे 130K हो गए, and it was another journey. Like my parents are also confused कि भाई ये चल भी रहा है इसका काम, and धीरे धीरे like you know. People who used to come and visit our neighbors, they would be like, oh, अल्फिया तुम्हारी neighbor है ना, हम लोग उसको मिल सकते हैं क्या, ये वो. So my parents slowly started noticing all of it, and ये आई थिंक 3 साल हो गए थे दैट आई वाज डूइंग इट, एंड उनको कहीं ना कहीं मैंने उनका ट्रस्ट बिल्ड कर लिया था कि यार मैं बिकनी शूट नहीं करा रही हूँ.
That is the template in their mind, huh? Bikini shoot.
कि मॉडलिंग करेंगे ये लोग, रैंप वॉक करेंगे, कैट वॉक करेंगे, पता नहीं क्या क्या, वो नहीं कर रही हूँ मैं. सो लाइक माई मॉम क्रिएटेड अ सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट जस्ट टू स्टॉक मी कि ये जो जो डालेगी सब देखूंगी मैं, कहीं इसने कुछ गलत किया और मैं इसके अब्बू को बोल के इसका बंद करवा दूं. बट एंड आई वाज लाइक बट मेरे को करना ही नहीं है. माई नीश इज गोइंग टू बी मॉडेस्ट फैशन. सो मॉडेस्ट फैशन को करते करते स्किन केयर भी साथ में किया, एंड देन when lockdown lifted, it was too late. Like when lockdown lifted, the first thing that I was supposed to do was go and get my first award as a creator, and that was the day where like my dad's mindset changed. He's like, अब तो मतलब मैं क्या ही बोलूं, मतलब if my daughter is getting recognition for what she is doing, तो definitely कुछ अच्छा ही कर रही है. So तब से लेके अब तक we did not go back कि admission का क्या करना है. No degree, but yeah, that's what has been happening since lockdown. I think lockdown for me was the
The
game
game
changing
changer.
factor.
I think it might also be noteworthy to consider that one of the things they must have considered was that now you're also financially independent in this situation. So they feel secure for you, if that makes sense. That they know the career you're building for yourself is a legitimate one. Which kind of brings me to wanting to talk about business with both of you, right? Like, I want to understand what kind of relationship you have with money, who handles the money, who's
Yeah.
closing money deals
Yeah.
for you guys on the creator side of it. Because the industry is so layered. There are managers, there are PR managers, there are agents. How's it going for you? I know you used to be with a brand, you
Yeah.
used to be with Faye, and now you're working independently. So are you still represented by someone? What is
Yeah.
your flow like?
So I think when it comes to, I mean, given the context of the question, I think I also had a similar sort of background as she mentioned. Like I come from a society that wasn't very open to the idea of me being a creator or like putting myself out on the internet. Like for example, my parents didn't like how close up my shots were. Like that was an issue. Like they were like, your face is too close to the frame. It looks like you look like a ghost. So then I had to block them. So it took time for them to accept that, okay, people are actually coming up to me and talking to me about my daughter and telling me she's doing really good, so maybe I should support her. So I think it took time. And then but the flip side of like the money thing that you were talking about is, I think it takes time to mentally undo a lot of like things that you learn when it comes to money. For example, I had never seen anyone in my family, like the woman, handle money in that way. Does that make sense? Like, I think they would always like refer back to their husbands or refer back to like some man in the
Men,
family to ask like where they should put their money, or they would be dependent on them to provide them money. So I'd never had an example of like a woman in my family or anyone like around me who just made their own money and decided what they wanted to do with it. So I think it had a lot for me to learn, like for myself to unlearn a lot of stuff when it came to like the psychology with which I handle money. And I think because of that, my financial journey per se was just save. Like that's what every woman does, right? Like I think we're just taught that save for a rainy day, save for this, save for that, but we don't know what we're saving for. Like I think the first thing I actually saved up for was, as you said, like when I was with Faye, the first thing that I felt like I can spend my money on, and it's like big girl money, was laser hair reduction. And it was like 55,000 rupees, and I saved up for it. At that time, I was like, am I allowed to spend this money? Like, who do I ask? I need to check with someone. Like, what do you mean? I just go
I have
and
the
pay.
authority,
Yeah, it was so trippy to me. And then once I hit like a certain number in my like savings, I decided I'm going to buy myself like a Cartier ring. And again, it was such a wild experience to just like go into the store and just swipe a card and like buy it. Like who's telling me what to do with it, like my money. It felt so freeing, but it felt unnatural because it was like
Did you
such
did you
a.
discuss this with your parents when you were going to make these purchases?
No, I think the laser hair, I couldn't tell my dad about it, for example, because he would be like, you don't need it. Like, oh, like you're so young. Why do you need to do laser hair reduction? But he does it, okay? Like, so it's just like a double edged sword there. So I think, yeah, I didn't have to discuss it per se, but it felt like I was sitting in the store, the Cartier store, and feeling like, am I allowed to do this? Like, I have the money. I know I'm good for it. So, like, can I do this actually? So, I think it has a lot to do with just unlearning the stuff
Yeah.
that you're like taught from when you're younger.
What was their reaction like though when you told them you
I
spent
mean,
that on the
I
ring?
think my mom, for example, was like really happy for me, but they don't say anything. Like, what can they say? I mean, it's my money, right? But I think as I said, like, you have to unlearn a lot
Yeah.
of things. And I think coming to the business side of it, like when I was at Faye, I was just earning a salary. So as I said, I would just save the money, save the money, save the money. And then eventually it got to a point where I started opening like FD, like fixed deposits,
Yes.
because that was what my father by the way, like for context, he's a business person, he's an entrepreneur, so he has that knowledge. Like he would always be the one to advise me, but sometimes I argue with him, like, why are you telling me to do this? Like, why are you not giving me more like guidance? I feel he's like little bit laid back in that sense. I feel like I want someone to just tell me what to do with my money, but that's also lazy,
I
right?
should introduce you to my dad. He's great with advice on money. He's great
Yeah.
with advice on money.
So I think now it's come to a point where I'm like, okay, I want to learn it for myself so that I
Hmm.
can be informed about it and like put my money where I want to put it, rather
Yeah.
than just people told me to put it here, so I put it there. So initially all my money would be in FD, but now I'm starting to like put it in stocks and mutual funds and stuff. But that comes again like from just learning about it, like becoming a little bit more literate about it, but for yourself, not because like someone told you.
Yeah.
And I think like the business side of things, in the sense of like who said what you said,
How do you
some word.
manage your collaborations? Who's
Yeah.
managing money? Who's talking money to the brands?
Yeah. So I think for the longest time, especially like when I was at Faye and right after Faye, I always had someone working directly with me, because it just didn't make sense for me to give a cut to an agency. For the longest time, I was like, what am I paying you for? Like, it make sense, So I think I always preferred like having someone in house. And also because I was at Faye, I knew I could like manage people better than most. So I felt like it would just make more sense for me to have someone working directly with me. So that model worked for me for like, I think 3 years or something, like from COVID until the end of last year. Then I realized that being like an employer of someone is also a responsibility, because sometimes you have to deal with excuses like, oh, my aunt was sick, my this happened, that happened. I'm just like, if you don't do it, I have to do it. And it becomes like an additional
Hmm.
stress on me. And then I decided I just wanted to be the client. so I signed up with an agency starting Jan of this year. So I'm with Tist Media.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's been good so far. I still feel like it takes time for an agency and a creator like to build rapport, to really like understand what each one wants from the other. So I think we're still in that phase. It's been like 6 months now. So yeah, they handle like all the conversations with the brands, in the sense of like quoting the commercials, negotiating, finalizing the deal. So they just come to me and tell me, okay, this is the offer. Do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? So yeah, it's been a journey though. Like for the longest time, it would be me quoting whatever random figure I wanted, and then seeing like what they would say. Like they might sometimes just pay you, right? So
Yeah, that's the thing about our industry, right? There's no standard format, no
There's no
benchmark
rate sheet.
number.
Yeah.
No, everyone has their own assessment of how they and what they value themselves
Yeah.
at. But I agree with your perception on like when someone doesn't show up, an employee doesn't show up, it is added responsibility for you. 14 years in, I've tried an agency for a 6 to 8 month period.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, had a terrible experience.
Mhm.
And I realized that I'm better off with things being in house.
Yeah.
I've always been like so happy and curious to see people's agency experiences
Yeah.
work out because
Same.
it's so diverse.
For like a year before I actually signed up with the agency, I would like ask every creator I knew, like, which agency are you with?
Yeah.
How is it? Like, how does it work? Things like that. And I think it's still some stuff I'm still getting
Yeah.
used to. But then I feel that I just don't want the headache of like
Yeah.
managing someone all the time now, considering I do everything myself, like shooting, editing,
Wow.
conceptualizing. So it's like on top of that, if I'm like making all the decisions as a single person, it's a lot. And that was my main thing, like main reason to sign up with an agency, other than like the obvious, which is that, oh, maybe they'll get me more deals, or maybe they'll like put me in touch with a different creator or
Yeah.
support me in some way. I felt I just wanted to feel less alone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because as a creator, you're
It's
a
lonely.
solopreneur,
Yeah.
whatever it is, but you're also alone. Like
Yeah.
whatever decision you're making, it's on you.
Yeah.
It's also like very taxing in that way, because you just have to deal with the repercussions of it all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like one of the biggest reasons.
I can relate to the idea of doing a lot of things yourself, because I'm someone who, even when I have had like people assigned and delegated roles for everything, I like getting my hands dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would be like, okay, even if you're editing the entire video, I'm going to do the final draft
Final
because I
draft.
wanted to have my personal
Yeah.
touches.
Yes.
But that's also because I'm someone, and I get this from my dad, we love structure. I love structure.
Same.
It is, as creative as I am in my mind, I also love structure. I also
Yeah.
appreciate monotony.
Yeah.
The idea, I'm a creature of habit. And then I also want to break those habits because I'm a creative. But it's this push and pull in my
I
own
have the
mind.
same narrative in my brain. Constantly, I'm like, I work so much better when I'm like doing the same things over and over. But then I just mentioned to you earlier, like, I can't show that over and over in a vlog. So
Yeah.
it's that push and pull of, as you
Yeah.
said, yeah.
And even like with money, for example, I feel like I can relate to you on that, because like my dad literally has always told me, he would like sit down and he would show me how he was managing my books when I started working. I started working at 17, 18, and he would be like, okay, this is what it is. This is what we send to the accountant. When he computerizes everything and sends it to you, I can now find flaws, if there is one, in the books, because he trained me like that. Like he
Yeah.
would tell me, okay, this is how you need to manage your money. This is what you need to do. This is what you should avoid doing. This is how you manage your taxes. Like even though I
Taxes, oh my
have,
God.
even though I
Such a
have an
pain.
accountant, even though I have a
Yeah.
CA, the literal manual paying of like when I'm deducting TDS for vendors once in, every time, once in 3 months, that physical manual payment, I still do myself. I physically pay my GST once a month myself, because I've realized that staying involved, that's what I mean by like, I like getting my hands dirty. I like to stay that much in it.
You like
'cause
numbers also.
I love numbers, but I think the act of staying involved at that level really helps me know my numbers,
Yeah.
not just like what I'm billing, but also what I'm paying, what my
yeah.
profits are like, where I'm sitting at. And I credit that to my dad. He has always taught me that, to the
Yeah.
extent of which, like, even if I have a wealth manager on things, I know what's happening of my money,
Yeah.
because he
That's how it should
ingrained
be.
that so deeply into me that you need to know what your money is. You're making it, you need to know how to multiply it
Yeah.
and save it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking for more advice on your money, I will introduce you to my
Sure,
dad. He's fab. What about you? What is your relationship with money like, and what is your management flow looking like?
When I started, I feel the agenda was just to have fun. And when I got the idea of being paid for it, it was really shocking that, okay, someone's going to pay me for doing a post. And for me, it just felt a little illegal, because I mean, in our family also, women have not had careers and they don't really make their own money. But my mom somewhere was still like a housewife, but she also saved so much, like for us, for the home that we are in. So she has always been someone who did make money while she was home. She was very smart with like investing and stuff. My dad, on the other hand, he's not one of those people. He's just going to be like, jitna kamaya usko udao, and that's it. But my mom is going to think about 10 years down the line and stuff. So I kind of didn't tell my parents ki okay, paise waise aa rahe hai, but till date my account is being handled by my mom, in a sense that she kind of has an idea, okay, this is what's coming, this is what's going. I still don't have like full authority on my account, and I would say that has been my hack to save money, and which is also why, like, 3 years earlier, I could buy my first house in Mumbai. I know that I wouldn't be able to do it if I could like recklessly spend my money. Somewhere that has been like the drive ki लाडू तुझे, so basically लाडू is my nickname. लाडू अपने को ये साल इतना गोल बनाना है, अपने को ये साल इतना ये करना है, whatever. So my mom has been kind of my momager. She has been handling my finances, कि कहाँ डालना है, कहाँ नहीं डालना है, FD से लेके सब कुछ. Even she does not have, हमारे में तो स्टॉक्स वॉक्स तो मैंने सुना ही नहीं था यार कि ये सब भी होता है. म्यूचुअल फंड करके कोई चीज होती है, SIP करके कोई चीज होती है, कभी नहीं सुना. और ये मेरे समझ के भी बाहर है. मुझे बस पता है कि मुझे ना मजा आ रहा है, मुझे इसके पैसे मिल रहे हैं. अब उन पैसों का करना क्या है मुझे नहीं पता.
I love
True,
that.
true. Though,
Yeah, because
yeah.
like I remember that somebody was I was having a conversation and I told that person that अगर मुझे ये फ्री में भी करने मिले ना मैं करूंगी, because I love my work so much, like I just love it. मेरे को पैसों से मतलब नहीं है. So when I was doing a job, I was getting about like 10,000 for the work that I was doing. And even though the work was a lot, but still, theek hai, you're a fresher and this and that. I decided to kind of, leave the job because it was taking so much of my time. And on the other side, while I was creating content, I knew that there is scope because I was kind of earning more in like freelancing than doing like a 9 to 5 job where I have to show up almost every single day changing 2 trains. Like it's a lot of traveling, a lot of work. I told my mom that I want to leave this job. My mom is like, no, you can't do stable income, this, that. I'm like, just trust me, because right now it's COVID. Everyone's any which way struggling to get a job. I still have something where I can make money. So just trust me. And I think like because my mom was in the picture, she knew the numbers that we are making somewhere. Unko bhi wo dilasa mila. And that's how she has been kind of managing my finances. She has an idea about it. Regarding collabs, I was the first person to kind of log deals, but earlier things were very different, and slowly with agencies coming in picture and this and that, kind of things got difficult. Because for me, if someone's like, oh, but why are you quoting this much, someone else has quoted less, has more followers and this and that, मेरा थोड़ा temper high होने लगता था. Like what am I supposed to like explain to you कि मैं कितना research करने वाली हूँ before this. I'm going to be editing myself. I don't even have like a team and stuff like that. So it was kind of getting a little frustrating for me, where I had to fight with them for money. मेरे कहीं भी payments नहीं आते थे. And I realized that I used to spend so much more time in just like banging my head ki, how to deal with it. I realized that I need someone else to do it. And it was in COVID when I actually asked my sister that, I'm going to ask you to become my manager. And it was very new to, like, she's a baby, she's 4 years younger. So imagine she's talking to people that are older to even me. मतलब मेरी arguments हो जाती है, या even I feel a little uncomfortable to have certain like money related conversations with them. तो वो कैसे करेगी? But I was like, no, like you have to. I kind of trained her this and that. And since I think 5-6 years, she has been kind of managing my money. So somewhere my entire business is happening in the family, where my mom is my momager, my sister is, locking deals for me. And having your own sister or someone cares for you actually changes the whole scenario. Because there are days when I'm probably sick, and I know that if I was with an agency, they'll be like, bro, but deadline, you can't like do it. But my sister understands that she's going to try and push the deadline. She's going to understand where I'm at. If I want to probably lock something with a brand, I know that wo karegi utni mehnat. It's going to be out of love.
Yeah.
So for me, even though there have been so many agencies that have literally told me that we will give a job to your sister, but you sign up with us, I'm like, no, I
Yeah,
can't.
that's something I've been hearing. Like
weird.
apparently, like they get the creator and then the sibling gets a job with the agency. Like I've heard this.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Wait, so do you give her a cut, or is she on salary? We should ask her. She's in the studio. I hope she's getting a cut for her sake.
She definitely gets a cut. She also gets a salary. कहीं ना कहीं घर में ही पैसा है, तो वो तो like उड़ाते जाओ. है नहीं है, in the end घर में ही पैसा आएगा.
Honestly,
So-
I've always been so envious of this setup because I feel like it's so chill. You can just bring your sister. You can just be yourself.
I
when you're like,
promise you, I don't know
really?
about them, and I'll come to
Yeah.
asking you for sure. My husband and I have tried that because he after doing 21 years in advertising, he was really tired, and he said, "I need a break." And my manager, just around that time, after 5 years, had just quit. and we tried working together, and I envisioned exactly what you're saying, right? My husband will be with me all the time.
Yeah.
It's quite chill. I mean, eventually we did land up working on Verified together, but
Mm.
Yeah.
on the management side,
Mhm.
no, it's not always also great, because I
That's true.
realize that there are things that if the other person is not exactly on the
On
same
the same
wavelength,
page. Yeah.
and my husband is so good with creative stuff,
Mhm.
and he has the same mentality as she does. Like when he loves his job, he says, I love the job, I would do the job I love, like I'm in for free.
Mhm.
But I feel like people with that mentality will also not negotiate as
Yeah.
hard as
much.
they need to.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's pluses and minuses. Where are you guys on this? Is that the dream setup that Shalini
No,
is
definitely
suggesting?
not. So I feel because हम बहनें भी अगर हमारा कुछ पर्सनल झगड़ा भी हो गया as basic as why did you wear my top, it's going to affect the brand deal because obviously she's pissed at me and we've just had a huge fight while leaving to the studio. So definitely there are days where we are kind of trying to have that line कि भाई अभी इसके बाद तू मेरी बहन है और अब इसके बाद तू मेरी manager है. So definitely that gets a little confusing. My mom has to step in, put us aside. तू भी मेरी बेटी है, तू भी मेरी बेटी है, but तू boss है और तू उसकी employee है. So it's just like
Playing referee.
it does get a little crazy. But alhamdulillah, I think I have been lucky with the fact that my sisters, she like handles me well.
I
Yeah.
think it's
Pata hai.
honest. I think I honestly just think about it a lot because of the aforementioned like alone feeling being a
Yeah.
creator, because you're just like, I make all the decisions. I don't know who to like ask or like throw ideas off of if I want to create a new series or if I want to shoot something
That's
differently
true.
or if I
Yeah.
like want to decide if I should do this deal or not or whatever it is. I feel like it'll just be so nice to have like a sounding board,
Yeah.
which I think is like something, as you said,
It
not
does help,
everyone
for
is
sure.
Mental
gifted
health is
with that.
definitely something that a lot of creators, just in general, with loneliness, to deal with. Like
Yeah.
when I graduated and I was already a full-time content creator, I had friends who had jobs,
Hmm.
who had all taken up jobs after college, and suddenly I was hearing them talk about chilling with office friends on Friday nights and hanging
Yeah.
out with, and I was like, wait, I don't have any office
Exactly.
friends.
Yeah. I
And this
feel
is like
the
back in
same.
the day, so I didn't really have creator friends either.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also with creator friends, everyone is
Oh my god,
living
can we talk about
separately.
creator
Creator
friends?
I want to, but I want to
Please.
close the business chat and come to
Yeah.
that in just a second. Are you guys comfortable talking numbers? Best month ever or something around a ballpark of commercials? I want to try and shed light just as much as possible, even if it's a range, because I feel like people don't fully understand the magnitude of how much a creator can make
Yeah.
to independently sustain their lifestyle. Is that something we're open to sharing? Let's say
Yeah.
best month ever if you don't want to talk about individual rates.
I actually would say it really depends creator to creator, and also depends like how good of a negotiator you are. It
Mhm.
also depends like how confident you are. Honestly, I feel like everything comes down to like your self-worth. Like if you
Individuality.
feel like I am worth this, you can honestly quote like whatever it is you want to quote. And I think the industry just works like that. As she mentioned, there will be like agency people who'll come to you and be like, oh, you have XYZ number of followers, we're looking at CPR, CPV, so therefore we can't give you this much amount of money. So it's not about like having like a set figure every single time. I think deal to deal it varies, brand to brand it varies. Sometimes I won't say yes or no until I know the name of the brand,
Yeah.
because I want to know, can they afford
Exactly.
me? Are they
Yeah.
like able to pay and choosing not to pay? Because I think it's a lot of like, yeah, sometimes it's just like capitalism. you just want to get your money's worth.
And
So-
what is define money a little bit more for us, right? Like
Yeah.
what is, let's say, your best month that you've ever had in terms of independent billing?
I would say around 10 to 15 lakhs. But again, I don't know if that's like very exact, but that's
A
around
ballpark.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I also feel like with creators, you make most of your money between September to December.
Yeah.
Yeah,
honestly.
like there are definitely seasons.
So
Yeah,
the best
for
would
sure.
probably be in that season time phase.
जैसे
Yeah.
दिवाली
Definitely.
आ रही है वैसे ही.
Yeah, Diwali, sale season,
Sale,
Christmas.
December.
What about for you?
I think for me also the figure will be somewhere what she mentioned. And yeah, like for us, me and my sister, we always have this thing where, we kind of lock only a certain number of collabs every
Per
single
month.
month. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's never like, oh, I mean, I'm going to say yes to everyone, because for me, I want to try the product. I want to
Yeah.
give it a week and this and that. And even though today, everything's just about money, and it truly sucks that, okay, it's okay, I mean, just cheat sheet your shot, cheat shot ले लो, acne गलत दिखा दो या whatever. It is frustrating, but मुझे मेरा काम पसंद है, इसीलिए मैं कर रही हूँ पैसों के लिए, तो वो तो पैसे
Yeah.
आ गए. So
Yeah.
for us also we kind of give कि हमको monthly इतना करना है. Definitely around that figure 8 to 10 is something that we kind of aim at. But there are seasons, कुछ months
Yeah.
बहुत dry होता
Yeah.
है कि भाई कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. Like
Yeah.
even if there are so many opportunities that come, it doesn't like execute, it doesn't convert.
Correct.
But
Honestly, I think having ethics, having like morality, having your own sense of this is what I would do, this is something I will never do, makes it harder because you're like
Yeah.
having to say no to a lot of collaborations,
Yeah.
having to say no to a lot of brands because you
Yeah.
don't vibe with their brand or their USPs or their whatever they say essentially. So I think like if you are the type of creator who's in it for the money, I don't think you will have a strong sense of brand identity. Like I think you might do any and every collab that comes your way, and I think a lot of people can say they can immediately look at
visible.
a creator and
Yeah.
say they're in it for the money.
Yeah.
So I think in today's day and age, it's really, I mean, I don't know why I started talking about this. It's really important that you have that sense of what I will do and what I will not do.
Mhm.
And as she said, like, even if I wasn't getting paid, I'm a beauty girl. Like, I'm gonna still talk
Still
about my
talk
favorite
about it,
lipsticks.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
No, I get what you're saying. It also leads to a stronger sense of community when you're able to say no,
Yeah.
because they know that
Yeah.
you are genuinely putting your money where your mouth is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I also feel like de-influencing, for example, is a whole content category that has started to do so well since the pandemic. It genuinely makes people realize that, okay, you're willing to go up against or potentially risk a relationship with a brand by saying, okay, I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
that product. I also
yeah.
wish more brands were
Open to this.
capable of
To it,
taking
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
because it really does upset some egos.
I don't even know if it's about the brand though. Sometimes it's agency people who
Yeah.
get pissed off that you said something
Yeah.
about them.
I had an agency pull out a really big literal deal
Yeah.
off the table from me for a brand because I said I don't like one of the other products in a video.
Yeah, it's
And I
so
was like, why is it so upsetting if I,
I
didn't
hate
like
it when brands are insecure. Like, can you just
take
get
the
it together?
feedback? And I got thrown out of the PR lists permanently. I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah,
not
yeah.
back on that PR list. I'm
Yeah.
like, this doesn't make any sense, but okay, if that's the
Yeah.
way you want to conduct your
No,
business.
but I think like in the Indian space, it's like that. I don't know honestly. I don't know if it's like this
It's
abroad.
not, because I've had a wonderful conversation with Cassandra in the past, who's been
Mhm.
on my YouTube channel, and we talked about how beauty works in like she's in America, so in
Yeah.
the US,
Yeah.
and they take feedback really well.
Yeah, they really should. Honestly, like I think Indian brands really need to learn how to let a creator be a creator and
I know.
just like focus on their lane. They don't have to tell us what to say. They don't have to tell us like how to dress.
Yeah.
I think
Stand in front of a white wall in a light
yeah.
blue, this shade of Pantone, no nails
Yeah.
or French nails.
yeah, it's too much.
Wait, so what are some hard no's? Because you mentioned there are things that, let's say, you wouldn't do, right? So, what are some hard no's you've set for yourself? Like for me,
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever promote alcohol because I don't consume alcohol. I don't
Yeah.
smoke, so I don't think I'm comfortable promoting even tobacco nicotine patches. I'm not
Yeah. Yeah.
comfortable promoting. What are your hard no's?
I think for me, definitely one has to be alcohol. All of these like tablets that are coming in the market or collagen and
Oh,
this
same.
and that.
I have that as well.
I mean, I can't, bro. Like that is a notch up. I'm not a dermat, and I like I don't think I'm at that.
You mean like pharmaceutical medicine, like medicine, or do you mean like
No, no.
supplements?
Nutraceutical.
If you
whatever.
Yeah,
consume
like
them.
just
Like I consume collagen.
Yeah,
so I
but
don't mind talking
yeah.
about it.
I don't know though. Like when it's a paid collab and I'm having to say XYZ about a brand and not having enough time to test that product
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
test that claim.
Yeah.
But that would be for
Especially
any
with a
category.
supplement, it becomes more of a responsibility
Yeah.
like on me.
Yeah.
So I think even I have the same
yeah,
thing that
skin whitening, anything.
Of
Because
course.
like
same.
I did get like a thing by this brand Glow and Lovely कि भाई अभी ये लोग rebrand करें this and that. But I'm like, I can't associate with something that has somewhere or
Yeah.
maybe like blur lines hai ki they are kind of promoting bright skin, get it. No, like that has been my biggest insecurity while growing
Yeah.
up. I'm not going to promote something like that.
Yeah.
So these are the three things that I feel like kind of just stay away.
I think a lot of it like applies to me also. I'm a
Yeah.
very PG-13 creator. Like even if I do like I don't know partake in these things, I wouldn't like go and talk about it, and I wouldn't like I don't know post about it in like a sponsored way. I feel Other than that, as I mentioned, like if I don't have enough time to test a product, or
Yeah.
if I'm being made to say things that like really don't sound like me, or really don't, it's like a claim I really cannot verify,
Yeah.
then I feel I'm more inclined to say no. And also, obviously, on top of all this, if they're not willing to give me certain level of creative freedom,
Yeah.
like sometimes they come to me and expect a different video that a different creator has created. Like, for example, if Alfia's video is a reference for me and I'm being forced to like recreate it exactly to the T, it might be something I'll pass on,
Yeah.
just because I'm like, I have my own flair, my own style. And I think it's a collaboration like with the brand and me, and not so
Exactly.
much just do this. I'm
Yeah.
not a model. I'm not like,
I
yeah.
also think that's an Indian agency problem
Yeah.
where they expect, like, let's say, bubbly person A to be
Yeah.
bubbly person
Oh,
B.
I've
And I'm
gotten
like,
too
that. I've gotten
much.
that. They've, you guys know my content. I'm not like super expressive. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm very like, I don't know,
Toned
poker
down,
face.
yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of brands have come to me and been like, oh, why is she not smiling? Can she like express more? And it's so weird when I get that type of like feedback, because I'm like, I'm just being me. Like,
Yeah.
are you
yeah.
not familiar with my page
Yeah,
before
exactly.
approaching
Like,
me? I had someone who
Yeah.
reached out to me for a collaboration for a pet, and the whole conversation has happened. Everything is, but literally, and obviously, I'm entertaining this conversation because I assume I have a cat. And at the last stage, they land up talking about something dog, and I'm like, wait,
what?
what? Like, I'm talking about this because this is a brand that I use. Literally, I feed my cat
Yeah.
with, and where is a dog? Oh, they do both. We thought you had a dog, and I'm like, cat.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna come back to you. Wait, da, 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 da. I was like, what the hell just happened? Do they not do any
Yeah.
research?
No,
Yeah.
like I
Everything's
feel
just
पहले फिर भी
copy-paste.
R&D होता था कि you know
Yeah.
they know that you have a sister, they know that you come from a certain background. ईद के लिए मुझे कोलैब्स आएंगे, रक्षाबंधन के लिए मे भी नहीं आएंगे, दिवाली के लिए नहीं आएंगे. अब तो कोई रिसर्च नहीं हो रही है, मतलब ऐसे ही लिस्ट जा
Yeah.
रही है and we have to be like भाई मैं अपना पैर नहीं दिखाऊंगी शेव करते टाइम because I'm a
Yeah.
modest influencer. I will not do it. I will just show my hands. Like oh is it? So every time I have to be like
Yeah.
देखो ये चीजें मैं नहीं. I know that I'll have to like mention these three things.
Clarify.
One,
Yeah.
I need creative liberty. I need a week to try the product. The
Yeah.
creator is not comfortable showing her skin on camera. And number 4, we need like, everything to be sorted beforehand so that there are no changes in the
Yeah,
script,
yeah,
this and
yeah.
that.
But
No,
I
but-
think that's a really like one of the things like while we're sitting and having this conversation, it might like sound as if, I don't know, we're shitting on things a little bit, but I really feel like I think that's the beauty of being a creator, because you can set your own boundaries and set your own.
Yeah,
I see it
It's
less
really
as
good.
shitting on things and more as like genuinely giving perspective that this is the stuff we put up with. Like there's the perks, which
Yeah.
in my opinion definitely outweigh
Yes.
all
Yeah.
of these
Yeah.
other things. But there's a lot of these things that the audience doesn't really have a view on, right? And unless we talk about it, they don't. Like, for example, I was talking to someone a couple of weeks ago who had no idea that we sometimes wait up to 90 days to receive a payment.
Yeah.
And it's true, we do, right? Sometimes there are times when I work with agencies where they say 30-day payment period, and I know I've worked with them and they're going to pay me on time. And then there are certain agencies where I know it's 90, I might charge them a little bit extra because
More,
I'm also
yeah,
getting
yeah,
paid a little bit
exactly.
later.
Oh my God, there have been
Yeah.
times that, like, I think last year my bill got cleared 1 year later.
Oh gosh.
It was
Wow.
so bad. Like I tried with my previous manager who worked with me. I tried reaching out to the brand and the agency, and then the new team that I'm with, they had to also get involved to try to get the payment cleared. And finally it did, but it literally was like such a hassle. But no, I was saying this in the context of, I think that, so about me, I feel like on Reddit, people have gone and complained about how I complain too much. So I felt that maybe I should neutralize the playing field.
No, I think that what tends to happen when it comes to things like, wait, did you say Reddit? Do you look up gossip about yourself?
I don't
online?
look up it, but people message me saying I'm on it, and then I just can't help myself. I just want to go and see what people are talking about me, because I feel like they're spineless and they go on there and just say what they can't say to you directly. And sometimes it's really good feedback. Like
Fair.
sometimes it's really good to know what people think about you so that you can like course correct. But sometimes it's flat out just ridiculous. Like people
Yeah.
just not having enough context, as you said, about the creator space, and being like, why does she complain so much about this and that? And I'm like, I think of you as my friends. I'm talking to you as
Yeah.
if you're my
Yeah.
friend.
But this is what I mean. I
Yeah.
really want to be able to give people the POVs on this, because
Yeah.
like who else except for freelancers in the media space? Let's talk about just India as a whole, who else gets paid 90 days
Bro,
later?
but then there's
Not-
worse also. Like
What do you
90
mean?
days khatam ho gaye and I get this thing
Huh.
that, oh, the brand has not paid
Cleared the
me,
payment.
so I
Correct.
can't pay you.
No, but that's what I mean. In what other space are
Yeah.
payments being made? Salaries get paid for everyone on
Yeah.
time. Agencies get paid, like for at least their retainer, let's say, get paid
Hmm.
on time. When you go to buy sabzi tarkari, you're immediately paying the person you're buying from. You're buying an iPhone, you're paying Apple immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is no space in which it is normal to say, oh, you have to wait for 30 to 60 to 90
It's-
or more days. So I feel like even something like that, I don't know if enough people know about,
Yeah.
right? Like, imagine waiting for 90 days to get your salary. That would be bizarre. What are you paying rent from? How are you living your
And
life?
you could easily get ghosted in this whole process. Like
And we
I
do.
had to,
We do, yeah.
I had to like pull up a lawyer because it was getting so crazy that these people are just not responding. I have literally called the CEO of the agency. कहाँ से मैंने उनका number निकाला है with hope that he's going to help me out. And that guy has picked up the phone and be like, talk to my finance team. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but I did.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
happens. I've been
And
in
I
this
was
position.
so disappointed, and then I understood why the whole thing that they really don't care about the influencer payments, because it might be the CEO's nature of like chhodna dekhenge whatever. So somewhere I was like, oh, now I get why the team is also like this. Maybe they get this brief that don't take them seriously and stuff. फिर lawyer को बोल के ये वो, but then genuinely nothing helped. Like even the lawyer notice did not help until the
Yeah,
day I
same.
put up a story. Like the minute you put up a story, you start getting calls and messages from the same person who's ghosted you for months, and you're like, अब कैसे तुम उठ गए?
Yeah, no, so this happens. It's because I think our industry is very unorganized.
Yeah.
Very
There's no union.
unregulated.
Yeah.
There's no union that brings people together, that makes sure agencies and brands are paying us on time. B, there are way too many agencies, and I mean this in both a positive and a negative way. Because positive because it means more business for everyone.
Mhm.
Negative because it's also then more unorganized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I had someone, the financial
Yeah.
cutoff is that you cannot deduct someone's TDS unless you have a TAN number.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had someone deduct TDS for making my payment, and when my team looked up and said, "Can you share your TAN number so we know it's going to reflect?" They said, "Oh, we don't have a TAN number," and they basically deducted 10% TDS
Without
that eventually went MIA. She ghosted this client, ghosted us completely, and what happens with the situation is eventually I still have to pay that 10%
yeah,
in
so
tax.
it's like something
So I got
you
10% less here and 10% less there, and someone has to pay the fine for the late payment again. So it's a very it's a very layered money
Yeah.
issue which not everyone gets, which is why I like to give people as much of a realistic point of view that these are the real things that we also deal with.
Yeah,
At this
it is
point,
true.
there's also like this huge competition between agencies where they'll be like, oh, you're going to get a call from this agency afterwards, so you better not quote them lower than ours. And I'm like, तुम लोगों की लड़ाई में इधर तुम मुझे क्यों
Yeah.
बकरा बना रहे
I
हो?
had someone say this to me a few months ago. Can you quote us something really
Little
lower
low,
and give
yeah.
everybody else your regular rates, because we really want to, like, they're all bidding for the same
yeah, campaign.
campaign. And I was like, what is happening?
What is happening?
Yeah. Wait, so since we're talking about money, can we break down different streams of income as a creator?
Yeah.
Can we break down the various methods in which we're monetizing our content?
Sure. You wanna go first?
Yeah. So, probably something that I am aware of. Number one, Instagram doesn't pay you. I feel a lot of people think कि तुम videos डालते हो, तुम पैसे बनाते हो. इंडिया में वो वाली तुमको सहूलत अभी तक नहीं मिली है, where reels and stuff they get paid. You only get paid when a brand wants you to integrate their products in one of your videos. So that is one. You can definitely also earn via affiliate marketing if you're recommending a product, and if the brand wants to kind of lock like an affiliate deal with you, where they're like, oh, you talk about our product, and if people buy the product, you get 10% of the sales. That is another thing. On YouTube, you can definitely earn via videos, but that also has a bracket that, oh, if you've crossed a certain amount of maybe I think 10,000 subscribers,
4,000 watch hours
and 10,000 subscribers.
Is
After
it
that,
10,000 or 1,000?
I think it's 1,000.
4,000 watch hours.
Yeah.
1,000 subscribers.
1,000 subscribers, yeah.
Okay.
1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. You do get paid in long form, but I'm genuinely not someone who posts very regularly on long form. I mainly do like short format content more. So shorts, maybe if your videos kind of go viral, you do get some money there. And YouTube pay, if you're kind of tagging products and people are buying, clicking on that tag product, you get commission out of that as well. I think for me, I've only explored these.
Yeah.
Anything
same.
over and above this?
No.
Attending events, hosting events.
Actually, I've done like maybe interviews, like research led interviews with brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they kind of still falls under the same like collab category, but
Yeah.
I
Sure.
guess it's not.
It's
like,
not really
yeah.
because it's a little bit more
FOC.
research survey
Yeah,
based. No,
yeah.
you should bill for them.
Yeah.
Brands pay good money to
Yeah.
spend time and give them.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and share data. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, matlab, for us, I think mainly it's been like FOC come be a part of
No,
the
that's
product development and
Oh.
give us feedback, and then
no,
we'll
but
make-
those types of events are different. There are
Yeah.
different ones which are like literally they just put you in a room
Oh,
and they'll show you like different packaging options and then
Yeah.
you weigh in on
Oh.
like which package you like and what it reminds you of.
nice.
And it's like data for them. So in
Also, we
that-
come from the point of view of having so many DMs that people send us
Yeah.
on what they perceive as what, right?
Yeah.
Like what they like, what they don't like. So they actually you can land up billing brands by the hour on how much time you spend with them to share
all that
insights.
information
Mhm,
basically.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so keeping these points in mind, where are we on barter collabs, guys? Like, are we still doing them?
We're just
Are we
going in
not?
circles with barter collab. It just doesn't leave.
Because they really don't.
They
I've
don't.
had a beauty brand that I've done paid work with over like the last decade
Yeah.
reach out to me over the last month 4 times. I
For
don't
a
know. I
barter
think these
collab.
people in the agency are not like coordinating with each other for this collaboration.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, I will not do this as a barter. What is
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah.
So where are we on that?
I mean, the whole event wala situation is barter. I feel a lot of people think कि हमको हर चीज के पैसे मिल रहा है, but there are so many things that we do let go of, especially events like you are going to spend 2 hours getting ready, 2 hours at the event, 2 hours coming back home. उसके बीच में आप stories डालोगे, आप brand को
Yeah.
tag करोगे, सबको लग रहा है कि यार इसके पैसे मिल रहे हैं, but इसके पैसे नहीं मिल रहे. They are not ready to pay for it. Even though I do remember pre-lockdown they would pay for event attendance, but not anymore. And even if you want to like probably tell them that, oh, give me money, this, that, they're like, nobody's charging. Like, who are you? And I'm
Mm.
like, okay, fine. And
Sorry, but so with events, I feel like it's fine, like
Yeah.
that they don't pay because I think it is like somewhere down the line about relationship
Network,
building.
yeah.
And I feel like because, as I said, I feel like I'm just talking too much about being alone. But you know how we work like individually,
Yeah.
it feels like nice to go to an event and meet like all the other people who are there who
Yes.
do the same stuff that you do. So I think not only is it like really helpful to meet brand people and also talk to them, I get why they don't pay you for attending events now.
Mhm.
Because I mean there's a time and place, like a certain type of event I get like you might want to get paid for it, but in general I feel like it's fine with events if
yeah,
they don't
but then sometimes they do expect some sort of coverage. That, oh,
Deliverable,
yeah,
yeah.
like
So
जब
if
तक
there
तुमने-
is, so if there is a deliverable attached to the
Yeah.
event, I feel there needs
then
to be
it's
some kind
yeah
of
then it makes
commercial
sense to be
arrangement.
yeah
But if not, then I feel like then
yeah,
that's,
I mean,
that's
they
fair.
might just tell you very subtly, oh, I hope the event was good. Do tag us, blah, blah, blah. So,
Yeah.
like, there is some sort of expectation, even with
Yeah.
like PRs, like they send it out of love or just, but then right now it's like a compulsion. Oh, you have to post it for us
yeah
and make sure that it's in this time frame because
Yeah.
हमारा टीरा हमारा नायका सेल ये
yeah,
time पे है.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
what the point of PR was not this, but I do get it, and I'm okay with like posting story as well because I'm genuinely so grateful to be able to like get these products. But you can't ask me to actually like post during
Yeah.
in within a time frame.
That's
When you're not,
I have
like-
an issue with that as well. Like
Also
when
links.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like why would I give you free like links without you paying me for it? And also I don't know, just take for granted that you're open to PR.
Yeah.
Like I've always had to tell people like, why didn't you message me before sending me this thing? Like I really appreciate it, but please like ask me before sending stuff. And then there's been times where I've had to like and then immediately they'll be like, oh, can we get the product back? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I didn't ask for the product firstly, which is also bizarre. Like I've
That's
not heard
bad PR.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, there's also been times where they'll force you to post within the timeline because they have like a campaign and a deadline to meet. And they send the package without checking if I'm even in town. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And I
So
feel a lot of times this whole celebrity association, like, they'll be like, oh, you'll get a one-on-one with so and so a celebrity, and it's going to be a collab or it's going to be an exposure. But I'm like, मैं already 3 बार exposure के लिए कर चुकी हूँ, चौथी बार तो I want to like
Yeah.
I
get
feel
paid
like
for
that's a scam. Like
Yeah.
just exposure.
exposure.
Yeah. On one hand, sometimes I'm like, the first time it's okay, and then the second or whatever third, it's
Yeah.
definitely not. Also, if you have so much money to pay the celebrity, why not just
Yeah,
pay the
yeah,
creators too?
yeah.
Like, mark out your budget.
They must have
Um,
just put the budget to that.
yeah, pretty much. Do we have a favorite collab that we've had over the?
I love working with Benefit. I really like working with Aminu. Yeah, basically anyone who lets me do what I do best.
Those are two great brands to work with.
Yeah,
I
they're really
absolutely adore
nice.
both those brand teams, and they've always been lovely to deal
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
What about you?
I think for me, every association where I'm directly having a conversation with the brand team has
Yeah.
been so much more smoother. Even though I have pitched ideas that are so creative, they'll be like, no, अभी जो हमने पहले कर लिया ना final, अब वही करो. I'm like, but ये better idea, maybe just like push it. But
Yeah.
नहीं हो पाता है. So for
Yeah.
me, the brands that I work directly with have been Plum, Dot and Key, Wishcare. It's been such an amazing time with them. Every single, collab, they're like, you give us ideas, you tell us what you can do. There's so much room to like, creativity. So they are like my best collabs, even though there are times where I literally like charge them lesser because we
Yeah.
have a relationship and I really like enjoy it. But it's just so nice to work with
Yeah,
them.
Plum is definitely one of those
Yeah.
brands for me as well. Do we have a dream collab, a brand that we haven't worked with as yet and want to work with?
Mm. We have to put on our thinking caps.
Yeah. For me,
Uh,
I think it would be like a fragrance brand. It could be like YSL. I would want to probably get associated with any sort of fragrance brand, especially I think YSL for sure.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I have a dream collab. Like, I don't think I have like a brand that I'm like, I don't know. I
Yeah?
don't think I have
Okay,
one.
do you have a rough idea of where you'd like to be like 10 years from now?
Like,
In terms of
as a
where as a
creator?
creator or as an entrepreneur
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
creator?
don't think that, as I think I said this at the start of the episode, that I see myself more as a creative rather than a creator. And I think that, as I said, is my strong suit. So I think I want to explore that side of myself a lot more. I love like branding. I love getting into design elements of like a brand, what makes a brand, the language, the visual language, and also the like communication. So I would say like maybe to start something of my own, but I don't know. It's like such a far away goal for me because I really don't want to start something just to start something. As much as it is the creator goal to like monetize on your audience, I don't want it to be like something I just did to just monetize on the audience. I really wanted to be like really fleshed out and really authentic to like what I've always been about. So yeah, somewhere down the line, maybe something of my own. But I really want to also venture out into another sort of IP. I don't know if it would be like a podcast or if it would be like some other platform, something. I don't know.
What about you, Alfia?
I think you're aware of it. For me, it's always been maybe, I really want to be the boss lady, the entrepreneur, have a brand of myself. And because it's also something that I'm really scared of. I know that, there's not even a single day that thought doesn't cross my mind. And I know if that's a dream planted in my head, there definitely is a reason. Even though I'm too scared for it. But inshallah, that's what we are heading. So I want to be able to post more vlogs, I would say, because for me, putting out my personal life has been a little difficult because people kind of judge your family, your dynamics, and this and that. But I want to just be in the space where I'm not scared to show the side of my life, which I kind of just, fear. So I want to be able to actually be the YouTube girl who's very consistent. कि इतने बजे ये दिन पे इसका video आएगा ही. I really want to be the long format girl. And yes, a brand, inshallah.
And do you have a tip to give any new creators out there that are just starting out?
Hmm.
A single
What
tip,
is
Yeah.
any one thing.
I think for me, I would say don't really run behind trends. run behind building trust, because that is what will last longer.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have a perspective on whatever it is you're creating on, like whether it's beauty or fashion or whatever. I think it's really important that you have like your own voice comes out through your
Yeah,
content. And
individuality.
yeah. So having that sense of this is me, this is not me is really important.
You guys know, I don't think I mentioned this at all to you through the entire episode, but you should know that the one thing that made me bring both of you together on this episode was when I was listing just really authentic on brand creators.
Oh.
Both of you were the first two people that came
So
to my mind.
sweet.
Aw.
And I was like, if this logistics works out, because logistics, I think the number one bane of my
Yeah.
podcast existence. It's like, I want this combination to work out because you're
Yeah.
both very authentic to who you are, and it shows.
Yeah.
It shows that the growth is happening for a reason. You're not chasing virality, or you're
Yeah.
chasing just the idea of a genuine community, and it comes across.
Yeah, I think like neither of us do trends, to be
Yeah,
honest.
actually.
Like I really have not ever seen her do a trend ever.
And for me also, my perception for her has always been like I see what she is, and it really has fit in my head कि अब मैं कहीं पे भी देखती हूँ ना, I know that this is her aesthetic. Like
Yeah.
that girl is just so true to herself, and she's been so vocal about what she doesn't even like in a product while she's being paid to talk about it.
Oh,
Which is
wow.
something I'm like, how did she pull that off? Like, I need some tips.
No, and that's
thank
rare
you.
because, like, I feel like being authentic and consistently being authentic
Yeah.
is really tough.
It takes a toll also though,
Yes.
because as I said, you're constantly like, is this something I would say, or is it someone else's voice that's like, you know, mirroring or like coming into it? Because honestly, I consume like every creator's content, right? At the end of the day, it sounds like even in my organic like videos, I start talking like them because I'm
Yeah.
watching them so much. So yeah.
I don't think we can end this episode without you talking about loneliness properly because because we should. It is a lonely
It is,
journey.
it is. Yeah,
You are
definitely.
by yourself in a lot of aspects. Even with a team, I feel like you're calling the shots,
Yeah.
and that weight kind of rests on your shoulders alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is your moment to shine and really
I'm ready.
guilt-free express to us what you mean by feeling lonely in this journey, because I feel like
It
we'll
is,
relate
it
to that.
is,
Yeah, I honestly just think it's about. I think you are the one who decides your routine. You're the one who decides what goes up when. You're the one who decides everything essentially about like your
Hmm.
content, but also your schedule, your everything, right? So, and I mean, I'm grateful I don't have any other like restrictions on being able to make that decisions, and I don't have like I'm not married, or I don't have like a family setup that I need to like, you know, factor into my schedule. So these are like my selfish years. I'm able to do this. But I really think it takes a toll in the sense of being able to be creative, because as much as like I know that I'm a creative person, sometimes there's so much going on, so many decisions I'm making of like, oh, what outfit to wear today,
Yeah.
or like what earring should I pair with this outfit for this one specific event, and I have to wear this color for that event. And then also additionally, I usually shoot before I go for my events or before I go like out for the day. So I'm also thinking, oh, how is this going to look on the grid? Is it
Yeah.
matching with the image that's
There are
next
so
to
many
it?
tabs on in our heads, and
Yeah.
it's kind of really does get frustrating after a while that you're like, I want to shut out, but I can't shut out because I love my job. But then what
Yeah.
do I do? Like, I want to
Yeah.
also film
Yeah.
everything I'm at. So
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think firstly it comes from that place of being
Guilty.
needing to bear
Yeah.
the weight of responsibility and decision making all by yourself, and also it's like you're the creative director of your life, but then you're stuck because you're doing all these other logistical things. So you can't even be as creative as you want to be. And also, additionally, I'm not from Bombay. So all my really good friends are
Hmm.
like back home. So I do travel back and forth, like just explicitly to see them, because that really fills my cup. Like I'm literally flying day after tomorrow just to go and hang out with my friends. But yeah, being here, not being able to like hang out with them, or even just have like a proper go-to group of people that I can hang out with here, I think really adds to that sense of loneliness. But I also have to like caveat this whole thing by saying I'm a workaholic. So it's just the nature of like being a workaholic.
Being a workaholic actually can really take a toll on you. So the reason I really wanted to definitely talk about this is because I feel like I spent a lot of my late 20s completely unable to do social, to have social plans, to have a social life. Because especially back in that day, it was the thing to like wake up at 4 in the morning, be at sunset to get, be at sunrise to get outfit shots, make sure you're
Mm.
fully glam, ready.
Yeah.
And that really means you can't do anything in the night. If you're waking up at 4:30
Yeah.
to do your hair and makeup and then
Yeah.
reach South Bombay, the other
Yeah.
end of the city, to make sure you're
Static
getting those
library.
pictures. Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like I sacrificed a lot of my social life, and not to give due credit to my friends who did try to hold on to that aspect of me for a while. They did, but I think both sides failed after a point, because I realized that I'm too much of a workaholic and I
Yeah.
prioritized my work above everything else.
That's true.
Which in my early 30s now has left me with a much smaller circle, but a circle that understands my
The nature of your job.
limitations.
Yeah.
Because we do have, like, for example, on a Friday night when friends are typically out for dinner and drinks, we have events,
Yeah.
right? And then do you choose to network a little bit at an event? Because that'll further your career potentially in some way. Does it ever? Does it not? I don't know. But you know, the guilt of it, like, do it.
Yeah.
Versus hanging out with friends. There's so many of these layers that people
That's
who
true.
aren't living by your side
Yeah.
fully get.
Yeah.
But that's so true, because like people also kind of comment on my videos, oh, like, why is your sister always with you? Because that's the only friend that I have also at most days, because like my friends, they have a job, and
Yeah.
even though they do have weekends off, वो लोग के plans बन जाते हैं with their office friends,
Yeah.
with their family. और मेरे पास तो मेरी बहन और मेरे 2 दोस्त ही है, अब वो available नहीं तो मैं तो इसी के साथ घूमूंगी.
Yeah.
Generally there are days where I feel like I need to make more friends, but I just can't. Like I can't just kind of make a friend. मेरे को बहुत time लगता है friends बनाने में. It needs a lot of conversations and I need like one-on-one. So it is very lonely. Like if at an event my friends are not coming, I'm like, I can't go because I'm just so like shy to approach someone, talk.
Yeah.
So genuinely like my circle is so small, and
yeah.
at most days it's just me. कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है यार मेरी बहन के साथ मैं काम भी कर रही हूँ, मैं घूम भी रही हूँ, मैं घर में भी उसके साथ हूँ. I don't want to see her face anymore today. Like let's just have our own things going on.
Yeah.
So
No, the reason it works and it struck a chord with me is literally in the pandemic when I felt like so lonely, and obviously we were still making videos and doing content through the lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing we could do. Even I literally, not sponsored, was on Bumble BFF, and I was like, I
Same,
need to
I've
talk
tried that.
to
I've tried
people.
that. It didn't
I
work
want-
only.
No, I actually did make like a couple of friends, but it got limited to the app because I was like, wait, what if I tell them like
I'm a
this is who I
creator.
am? Yeah, like they knew my name, but like, what if they found me as a creator, and then it would get awkward. And it's just that whole thing of you don't know who's really friends
Yeah,
with you,
yeah,
or
Yeah.
because
yeah.
it's one of those very awkward situations.
really
I
is.
literally joined dance class to make friends because I
Wow.
was
Nice though.
like, yeah,
I think it's I mean, I don't know if this is like special to being a creator though. Like I think like if you're a freelancer of any
Yes.
sort, it becomes really difficult to make friends, especially once you're older, because you have like responsibilities, you have your own routine, like you're set in your ways. You don't
Yeah.
want to change your way for like some random person you've never met. So
yeah,
I think it's just the nature of being like an internet generation, maybe. I found it much easier to like make friends obviously in school and college because
Yeah.
the institution is there. Like even work, like you just are
Yeah.
by default seeing each other every day.
yeah.
So you're like bound to talk
Which
to
is
each
why I
other.
think I'm still so close to so many of my school friends and
Yeah,
college
same.
friends. More school friends than college friends
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But like I actually look forward to meeting them. A couple of them now are moms and I'm a new mom. So I'm like, wow, I'm happy to have someone
Yeah,
in the same
yeah.
phase of life. And I'm actually, when I got pregnant, I actually was like, I'm actually looking forward to my like having like a mom friend circle.
Yeah.
I'll meet people in the same phase of life because that's not guaranteed with your school
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
Like so many of us love each other intensely. We're like sisters, you know, we've known each other all our lives. But you're in different phases because
Yeah.
like someone's married, someone's not married, no one's a mom. It's
Yeah.
like it's all different phases.
Yeah.
So interesting way
Yeah.
to end this episode. But we will end this episode with a little game that we're about to play. It's hot or not. I thought it was the fun way to end this episode.
Oh.
I'm going to give you a few scenarios and you can tell me whether you think it's a
Okay.
hot or a not situation.
Cool.
Shall we?
Yes.
Feeling guilty when you're taking a break.
Always.
Yeah, the creator thing, no?
Yes.
Replying to the haters in the comments. You don't engage?
Sometimes I don't.
I do type everything just to feel lighter and then backspace.
How very non-geet of you. Looking up gossip about yourself online.
I'm
Occasionally.
forced to, honestly. Like I get like told that there's something up, and then I'm like, okay, I have
See,
to find
even I
out.
don't like indulging. मुझे ऐसे है कि I don't want that
Yeah.
energy, but
Yeah.
मेरे को भी कहीं और से पता चलता है that you are being talked about. I'm like,
Yeah.
ठीक है यार.
It'll
Yeah.
affect my mental health too much if I go look at it. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
thanks. I don't know why you're telling me bye.
Oh.
Having a secret Finsta account to stalk people. No? Instagram giveaways with 15 pages to follow.
Oh my god, we have like history on this one.
Really? Still?
Oh no. I don't know what to say about this.
Yeah. that
Okay, we'll
was-
spill
yeah.
off camera.
Yeah, off
then.
camera, yeah.
Okay, great.
But not.
Yeah, I
Okay.
also
You,
not.
I think she's very anti-giveaway.
No, I do giveaways like
Okay.
regularly. I think the giveaway that we were part of was just new to me. Like it was the
Yeah.
first time I did like a group,
Group giveaway. Yeah, we were doing
And
this whole
Was there
trend.
15 pages?
There were five,
Five.
I think,
That's not
and
so
it
bad.
was boosted. I was like, why is the giveaway boosted? So that was the thing
Is
that,
it?
yeah,
Was
that
it boosted?
yeah, that was the thing that we had a whole discussion and
Oh,
conversation.
I am not
She's
aware it was
blanked out.
boosted.
Yeah, it was boosted, and that's why I was like, wait, why are we boosting this? And then
But I don't
You
think
and,
that
like,
happened.
the others were like, oh, but
I want to
this
know
is how
more.
it's done.
Once
And then I
we
was like,
cut
okay,
cab.
shit, like why did I bring that up?
Collaborating with cancelled brands and influencers.
Influencers, I think sure. Brands, if like
I don't know
mean-
what cancelled means. Like,
Like
when you say
publicly flacked.
yeah, I mean, but then sometimes it's difficult, right? Like, because you don't know when you're shooting the thing if they're going to be cancelled. Like, what if
Let's
you-
assume they've been already cancelled in
oh,
the
then
past.
probably not.
See the real deal ka writing? The
Yeah.
real deal ka writing?
Oh,
Huh. Yeah. It's just
I
Oh,
don't
okay,
mind
okay, okay.
genuinely if the product or the influencer is someone I relate to and stuff. I don't care what are the rumors and stuff like that. So
publicly calling out brands or agencies for situations. Obviously.
more people should do it, please.
Following trends as is.
as is,
No, not as is.
I think like a lot of context is crucial.
Shooting beauty content with filters on.
Oh my god.
Disclosing sponsorships. Creator communities and friendships. Big
would
heart
love
from
to.
Sharma.
I would love
Thrifting fashion.
I mean, I'm neutral about
I
it.
feel
don't
like
have-
they overcharge. Like a lot of it is a scam in the name of thrifting. So मेरा तो experience अच्छा नहीं रहा है. But
I don't know. I never have luck with it. Like I just yeah.
Asking brands to let you try a product
Oh my
properly
God, yeah.
before reviewing and
This
working
is
with
so
them.
tricky.
No makeup looks.
always like that. That's a vibe.
True.
I want to say a big fat thank you to both of you for coming on and chatting with me about everything with your creator life and beyond. Clearly, I feel like this has been really nice. This has been really informational. There are things that I feel very validated on as well, I have to say. And I hope that we're going to be able to give a serious insight and POV on your journeys to everyone watching. I can't let you
Yeah.
go without giving you little goodie bags to
We're
say
not
thank
going
you.
anywhere either.
Thank you
Thank you so
Thank
much.
so much
We move
for
this.
coming on. Hopefully these shades are what
it
you guys will
later, love?
like.
Please, you
we
have
have
to.
someone who's going to make sure you've got
Oh
the
my
right bags because I
gosh!
selected the shades. I don't
Is
want them
it?
to get mixed up.
There's one called Latala Muffin.
That's the liquid. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's Latala is our bullet
I don't think I've tried your
and Latala
liquid
muffin is
ones.
the same shade in
Nice.
liquid.
Oh,
So,
nice. Then I
yeah.
like it. Thank you so
Yay,
much for
thank
having us. This
you.
was like really
Yeah,
fun.
it was so nice. It's always
I'm
so
leaving
nice to
here a
talk to
little
you.
bit less lonely, guys.
I told you have us.
Yeah.
You have 2 more friends added to the list and
Yeah.
we can always hang out.
Yeah,
and solve
true.
our loneliness.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank you. If you enjoyed this episode of The Real Deal, you know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. You know I'm always reading, liking, hearting, and responding to each and every one of those comments. So go ahead and tell me what you liked or didn't like or who else you'd like for me to invite over on this season on the podcast. See you in the next one. Bye.